Hello and welcome to the Stover Farm channel. I'm so glad to have you here with me. And yes, I've been gone for a little while. I'm sorry, work life, you know how it goes. But I've got something really fun for you right now, or crazy, depending upon how you think about it. I made a new mod. And I've always been pretty vocal that I hate the fact that there's really no urgency for life or health in FS25. Really, it's all about money, making money. And, you know, with Easy Dev, you can just give yourself as much money as you want. Well, what if I created something that required you to create life or produce life, or if you were in a survival scenario, create or produce a crop, maybe some potatoes, maybe some oats. You might need to power it with a generator, so you've got some diesel. And all life requires water. So we could produce life, but then what do we do about the reality of life? Well, we have subsidies. And if you just put a negative on the front of the subsidy, you get an anti-subsidy. And I'm going to stop explaining it, and I'm just going to show you what it is. So it is called FS25, The Reality of Life. And it is a working prototype. It might absolutely suck. It's working, but I'm totally fine if you tell me it's awful. I'd love to hear your feedback, but I ask you that if you tell me it's awful, give me ideas on how we could make it better. So what it is two mods, very simple mods. They're both productions. Well, one of them's a production, one of them's a generator. So in the factories, you have life. It's a distillery mod called Life. And my shop area is restricted because I've been using the delivery mod. But you get this, a refrigerator, a generator, and some gas cans. And you just, plop that down right there. That's going to generate your life. And this could be a situation where, like, we're out on this, I believe this is called Lone Valley. You're doing some type of survival. You're doing one of those challenges where you're actually trying to start from scratch. Again, there's never been any urgency. There's never been anything to, I guess, keep you going until now. So over here, in the generators section, there's what looks like a government subsidy. But if we zoom in, this is the anti-subsidy. This is the reality of life. And when we put this down, things happen. So we've got that there. Didn't cost any money, I don't think. Yep, $0. But this is going to, in real time, every hour, suck your bank account dry. To the tune of, if you put this on the ground and you do nothing on your farm, you will live for maybe 3 or 4 months. Now, when I say live, I haven't quite figured out that part yet. So my theory on it is you start with $1 million. So I've got 925,000. That's enough to start with. Right now, it's active. It's running. If we go in and I turn on my Easy Dev and I change the extra time scale, let's turn that on. And then I bump up the time. So we'll go into settings and I'm going to bump this up pretty high. So let's do 500. All right. Watch what starts happening in my bank account. It's going down. It's going down quickly. The idea of this is your bank account is your countdown clock. That's your life. You get to 0, you die. You lose. Game over. And if I can figure out a script to actually do that, where like the pause menu comes up, or it just cancels out and takes you to the main menu, that would be awesome. So, oh my gosh, what do? Well, you can produce your own normal food. So you could come over here, and if this were a proper crop, you could harvest it and go sell it. Or you can survive. And to survive, well, again, time is ticking away, so we better get at it. So I'm going to run over here. I'm going to grab some diesel. Take some diesel, and we will fill up the generator. Now, I want you to note one thing. You can't just preload this life generator with a ton of inputs. It doesn't hold a whole lot. It doesn't hold a whole lot at all. The reality is you're going to need to keep this thing full about once a day. The nice thing is, though, the production, it will counteract the anti-subsidy. Stay with me. Just stay with me. I know it sounds crazy. Again, the anti-subsidy, which is stealing all of your money or your life, will basically be offset. Not perfectly, because I do have in here the fill type sale levels. They do vary throughout the month. So some months the selling of life is going to be more valuable than others. Now, it's nighttime, so we can take a deep breath, because the anti-subsidy, it only works during the day. So at night, deep breath, deep breath. Our money is not going down, but this gives us an opportunity to hop into the tractor and to fill up the water bin with water, and that's the last input that we need to get this process going. We'll come over here. Up, daylight's coming, so about 9 a.m. It will start anti-subsidy stealing our money once again. Yep, there we go. I think it was 8 a.m. Now I'm going to come over and I'm going to turn on this, and I'm going to say activate, but I'm going to change the output mode. Instead of storing it, which you could do, you'd just be required to go and take it to a sell point. I'm just going to sell it. So now, when I sit here and watch it, watch as the day goes on, we're making life. And there is a fill type for this. If you wanted to store life, there are jars of life that pop out, and you can have them on pallets. But if not, you can just set it to sell. So this is running with, we look in here, water, oats, potatoes, and diesel. And it's creating life, and it's auto-selling that life as it gets to a point where it can sell. And you can see that we are counteracting the amount of anti-subsidy, the reality of life over here that's sucking all our money dry. So now we have some urgency. There's urgency involved, and I am still tweaking some of these parameters, so I don't know if it's absolutely perfect yet. That's why I've got it out kind of as a prototype, because I could very well have this way off. I think I'm close. If I go in and look, and we take a look at our, I'll let it save for a moment, but we can actually see what's going on here in the production chain. We've got, so again, diesel, it's running, it's active, very small amounts, 100 liters of diesel. That's like 40 gallons, maybe? Oats, small amount. Potatoes, small amount. Again, you can produce these on a farm in a survival situation. Water, you can find it. It's running. Everything's good. We look over here and we take a look at our finances. Where are our finances? They're here. We can see that right now, so we're losing $226,000 a month. We didn't produce for all of September. We're now producing in October. Just bear with me. I might have to modify these numbers a little bit. I'd like to see maybe the monthly sold products be a little higher, and maybe not completely offset this number, but keep it close. But keep it so that you've got to... Oh, we're missing materials. That's why I wasn't going up, because, again, I got to fill it up. What are we missing? This is no good. Life is getting in the way. Okay, we've got to let's get some diesel. We better fill the generator up. And again, we're running at 360 times speed here, so it's not going to be this frantic. you're actually going to have time to do stuff. But the hope is that you actually have to bust your butt and actually try and either make products or keep you and your family alive with this refrigerator. So that's in there. Okay, I think we got to add some water. And we get into some water, and we're going to back up. Dump our water. Now we're going to start making life once again. So we've gone from $900,000 now down to $480,000. And it should sell. We should get a little bit of money coming out of it. It should start going up. There's 440. And while you're doing this, you could be doing other things too. You could be selling other things. You don't necessarily just have to rely solely on this. But if you're doing a survival type scenario, you might not be able to do a ton. You could sell grass, but you've got to go through product cycles or actually planting cycles. So it could be really, really challenging. And you've got to set this up yourself ahead of time. You're not going to be able to buy all your stuff with the money. You're going to want to buy your stuff ahead of time, set up your map the way you want it, and then start the process with $1 million. Now, are we still making money? Let's take a look here. Yep, we're still making money. So it's still going up. So we were down to almost 400,000. We're now back up to 460,000. So you can see, if we keep going, the goal is we never want to hit zero. If we hit zero, we're done. We failed. We're dead. And that, my friends, is my crazy idea of trying to add some type of health or life, or I'm just going to call it urgency, into the game to try and actually feed and nourish yourself with produce and commodities. We've got water from right over here on a map. Give it a try. Again, it might be awful. You might hate it. Look, we're already we're over $500,000 again, because at night, the this right here, the anti-life, the anti-subsidy stops working. So you can catch up a little bit. Give it a try. Give it a shot. It's quirky. It's way out there. I know. But maybe someday someone much, much, much smarter than I am can implement some type of health system to your character in Farming Simulator. So, real quick look. Thanks for taking a look. See you right here next time on the farm with the Stokers.